You've also made a lot of videos about guns in America as well. Both of you, right?
Yeah.
You did the one where you strapped an automatic gun to one of those dogs.
That was the most terrifying video I've ever seen.
And you did the video in the same ranch, kind of talking about guns and the politics of America and why people are obsessed with guns.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, there's a lot to unpack. Where do we start? Okay, I'm curious. How the fuck did you get one of those dogs? How did you convince someone to let you have a dog to put a gun on?
It was pretty funny because it was one of the
one of the Boston Dynamics.
This was like a rip-off version of that. Still a good dog.
How is
Good boy.
He's a good boy. How is there rip-off versions of that dog? That seems like such a specialized tech.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that there's a version
China probably saw it and was like, we can do that for cheaper. It won't work as well, but we can do it for cheaper. But yeah, it was funny because I hit up the company, which is, I'm going to say their name because I find it funny to piss them off, Unitree. And I was like, oh, can I do this? I want to put a gun on it. And they're just like, first they were interested. And then when they heard the idea, just no response. Yeah. So then I tried contacting different people. No one wanted to, but I found a man who wanted to remain anonymous.
And in the video, you just named a random name.
Random man, and people were so pissed off. They're just like, you said anonymous, but you named him. It's like, it's a joke. Like, but yeah, and then this guy really liked the idea and really wanted to know what would happen. And he happened to be in the same place as in Texas as the guy that had the gun. So I was like, this is perfect. Yeah. So yeah, we got in contact with him, got the dog, and then went to Brandon Herrera's place, who's a big gun YouTuber.
I'd never heard of this guy until this
video. And then, put a machine gun on the dog, and it was terrifying. There was no...
That was a bad video. Like that... Probably the most scared I've been.
That is so that you asked the most dangerous thing. That is the scariest thing I've ever done.
Because you just were controlling the dog via like a little dinky.
It was the GoPro app, and the worst thing was that I was like, okay, safety, we're behind a mound, so if the dog flips over, we'll be safe. But the GoPro lost signal behind the mound, so I had to like stick my head up with the GoPro looking, and then when I saw it shoot, would have to dodge. But obviously, you can't dodge a bullet. So it's like, if I turned towards me, it would have been too late. So it's like
the dog was so unstable with like a fully automatic weapon on top of it. So like anytime it would burst fire, the dog would just like flip
legs
around
would lift up. It would go and just run back.
Holy shit! Yeah, because like, how'd you go about testing that in a safe environment?
Yeah, we started with like one bullet in the magazine, single shot, but still really scary, just really scary. And that's like, my videos are scary, but then being around something that's well designed to kill people, and then mucking around with that is just like something else. Like,
So why?
Well, I thought it would be like propose an idea to the Americans who seem very like willing to do anything else besides like gun control. It's like, let's do an American idea then of like machine gun on a robot dog to prevent school shootings. There's like,
oh my God.
It's like the political argument. Like whenever a school shooting happens, a lot of people are like, "Oh, we need more guns."
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, what does that look like? Like,
let's do the extreme of that. Like, robot dog in the classroom with a gun. Just kind of like, just making fun of the whole thing. And it's funny how annoyed Americans get at anything to do with taking guns away.
Did you get a lot of heat for that video?
Yeah, quite a lot of heat, which was fun because I hadn't experienced that before, and I was kind of like.
And it's scarier than like the normal heat because all these people have guns. It's not just a random death threat. It's like, oh, by the way, you can also do it. Like,
this guy's not joking. And as well, some of them, because a lot of them were in America, but then I had some Australians hit me up and be like, we've got guns here as well. And I was like, whoa, like, it's funny to piss someone off with a gun and their response is like, I'm going to shoot you. That's all I know.
You're making a great case for gun control here.
Did you get any threats or anything like that? Or was it
a couple of death threats. And like
what? Like, how dare you put a gun on a dog? I'm going to I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah, just talking about gun rights and that kind of thing. Like,
Right.
And you at the same place had a video kind of just more kind of political and introspective conversation with some of the people on this gun ranch.
It's hard, there's so many guns in America, and we're just kind of trying to work out like what the justification is. And like a lot of time they push this thing where it's like, we need guns to protect ourselves from like a tyrannical government, like there'll never be an evil government if we can defend ourselves. And then we're just kind of analyzing that, saying like, I don't know, America's got like crazy police, like the biggest prison population in the world, but like tyranny's already happening. Like, what are your guns? Like, the guns are just a hobby. Like,
and these guys that say they want to use their guns to protect from the government, they love the police.
That
was the main point of being like, you're not you love the police.
Like,
if the police came over, you'd suck them off.
Yeah.
Like, you're not defending from them. What are you
You're not
talking
fighting
about?
these guys. Like, that's not why you have these guns.
They're your
Like,
buddies. So it's just pointing out that they're more of a hobby.
It's just weird seeing it, and they're like so proud to show off like guns from like World War II, and they're like, this is a Nazi gun. And it's like, why?
Why do you have this?
No one needs this.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have this?
And it's funny when you get an obsession with Nazi stuff because he was like, that's a bit weird.
Yeah. It's like, why did you have to bring that into it? Yeah. What I want to know is how you went from like making political videos together to you kind of like doing I guess making death machines. Like how did that come about?
Oh, so that was kind of like my whole life. I've just kind of
He's made death.
my whole life I'm really interested in. Yeah, it's not even a joke. It was just like at school, I was the kind of known as the guy that would blow things up. I remember,
oh my god!
like we would do like horrible things. Like I don't know if I should be saying this, but like making letterbox bombs and like we would go after school and do them. And then sometimes we'd put a letterbox bomb in someone's letterbox, and then it wouldn't blow up. And then it was just like. It's like, is that the movie The Butterfly Effect?
Yeah.
That's the scene, and they're like, fuck, now there's this unexploded bomb in this old woman's letterbox. I'm like, do I run back and get it?
Wait.
And then
How powerful of a bomb are we talking about
What the fuck is
here?
a
Like,
letterbox bomb?
So it was because in Australia you can't buy fireworks or bombs. So I would make, I don't know if I should say actually how to make the bomb.
Don't say how to make
No,
it.
don't say how to make.
Don't say how to make
Wait,
it.
until you talk money laundering.
Like, what is this thing?
So it's just like, basically it works.
It's like
It's
a
a
gas.
chemical reaction that makes a gas it's a pressure bomb. So
Right.
instead of just like, it's a gas that expands inside an enclosed space, and then when there's enough pressure, will blow up.
Right.
Right.
This sounds fucking dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Is it
So
like
why
it's
would
like
you
when you
put
put
it-
like the dry ice in the
It's
bottle
exactly
kind of
that.
thing?
It's
Yeah,
exactly that,
right.
but just with different chemicals.
Why the fuck were you doing and building these?
Because I just thought it was fun, and then
Big
it's
loud
like-
noises.
And I would muck around with thermite. I remember
How the fuck did you get thermite?
Wait,
that
you
just magnesium
you can just
and-
make it. It's just I don't know if I should say how to make it.
Don't say it either.
yeah, but you can just make it. And then I remember I would tell people at school, and then we came up with the ideas of melting the school's gate together so that we couldn't get back into school or something. And then we did this. It didn't work. I just set the grass on fire. And, no, it's probably my school now finding out that I did this.
I got asked. Do you have any background in like engineering or science?
No,
or-
none at all.
Fucking hell.
Probably why I'm so bad at it.
That's the angle, right? People watch your channel to see you get hurt and
I
like
think
do
so.
things wrong.
Or probably to be inspired that like this guy that has no idea what he's doing, if he can make it, then maybe I can do something as well. You know?
You sound almost as insane as Nigel. Like now, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
right.
I think Niall Red's
Niall Red actually knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, but he's willing to take more risk.
Yeah,
Like
he would talk about his childhood, and it was like, I just love.
Yeah, it sounds
making-
very similar to yours.
Yeah.
Just getting like farming the zinc from the batteries and making,
Yeah,
I'm like, what
yeah.
the fuck is wrong? You're
Yeah.
10. Play games.
Yeah, he was telling us one time. Yeah, I just I almost set like a school on fire or something just because I was like fucking around. I was like, how would you get to that point? Have you ever had any bad almost accidents like growing up as a kid?
I feel like, yeah, I had a lot of accidents when I was a kid. A lot of always like cut fingers, like fucked
Right.
up toes. From I'm trying to. My worst accidents were not from. Or I had a pretty good one where I
Pretty good one.
with a spear gun where I was like mucking around with it as a child, and I didn't really know how to use things, and I strapped the spear gun down to a table. I don't know what I was trying to find out, but I didn't know spear guns had recoil. So I put my face really close to it, shot the spear gun, and it goes back into my mouth, split open my lip and my thing, and I remember just massive gash. But no, I think that's probably the worst injury I've had. So yeah,
Where did you grow up?
this was just in Sydney. Yeah.
But there's things to do in Sydney,
Yeah,
right?
why are you like?
This was the
Apparently
funnest thing to do. Like,
Joe, can you attest to this?
Well, I mean, whereabouts in Sydney?
in the suburbs, like northern suburbs, like northwest suburbs of Sydney.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm from Northern Beaches.
Really?
Yeah. So and like I'd never heard anyone of your magnitude like doing anything like that.
I
I'm
just can't
like,
believe you're making bombs.
Yeah. We did some pretty fucked up stuff in high school.
Yeah, I
So
was bad.
have you guys been friends since high school?
Yeah.
Since high school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
The thing is, like, before I met him, I wasn't doing any of this. I was playing World of Warcraft. And it's like, oh, let's
So
blow up
let
the
me
school
take you
wall.
into my world.
We
So,
used
so
to.
you were the kid that every other parent was like, "Do not hang out."
Yeah, he was horrible.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But
God,
we had it as well. We used to play a game. Should we talk about sogging?
what the fuck?
Yeah, but I guess so. I was more auxiliary to that game. I never did the.
What the fuck?
Maybe it's bad. I don't know.
I don't know. There was a game called sogging at school where like we had nothing to do. We probably did have things to do, but we
Definitely had
thought it'd
things
be
to do.
fun to go down to
Definitely
like
didn't need
the
to do that.
highway,
Right.
and we would hide in the bushes and just throw various objects at cars.
Oh my God.
And then the police would come and would run away from the police. And this was like a every week thing.
We had one
fuck?
friend. We had one friend that every time he'd do a poo on like a napkin and then throw it at cars as they drove past.
That's what monkeys do.
Yeah. It was horrible.
And I still remember the expression. He threw it at a truck, and this truck driver came out. He was like, "How?" We just started chasing us. I was screaming like, "You shit on our truck" or something. Yeah.
This is the worst thing ever.
This has
Why
really
would you do
devolved,
that?
this
Why would you do
podcast.
that?
Oh,
Why
To be
would
fair, I didn't even really like it when we were doing it. I just wanted to have friends. I was like, I guess this is what you got to do.
This is what everyone's doing. You're like,
WoW player
sounds
discovers
very
how to make
illegal.
friends.
yeah.
I guess this is how everyone makes friends in Australia, right? Just
Yeah.
chuck poop
Throw
at
shit
truck.
together.
yeah, exactly.
But
like, you want
that's
someone-
kind of the origin of I Did a Thing.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, shit throwing to letterbox bombs to.
So you just wanted to okay, I want to bring this hobby of mine and just share it with the world on YouTube.
So the actual origin was the experience of that, and then Alexa and I made Boiis, and
Yeah.
Alexa I think went to Serbia for
Oh,
a year
yeah.
or 6 months, and then
I was meant to be there for like a very short time, got into like a relationship and just ended up there forever. And I was like, I'm not waiting for this guy.
yes, and then I was like after the Boiis and kind of realizing a bit of how much potential YouTube had, I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
I think I can try this. I was like, what am I interested in? I was like making things and doing
right.
things, so I started that, and I think I was at it for like a year, with relative success. I think I had 25,000 subscribers in the first year, and then the day after the first year, one of the videos caught on,
Right.
and then just channel blew up, and then
Which video was that?
I made a video called "How Dangerous Is a Metal Straw," which I tested just what a metal straw would do to a human head if you fell on it in your mouth. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah,
Yeah, I bet.
it goes straight through your head.
Yeah.
What was the first contraption that you made on YouTube then?
First contraption was probably
periscope?
a book that when you open it throws a throwing knife into your face.
Why on earth would you need that?
I don't know how I came up with that idea. Just thinking of
I mean, no one thinks of the ideas that you think of because no one should think of the
Yeah.
No,
ideas.
the trick is Alex, you guys, not many people know this. Alex actually does not know how to read. And he's
Yep.
had a vendetta against books, and he's just trying to like pay back people who actually do know how to read.
yeah, it was probably something like that in my head.
Yeah.
No, a lot of the ideas I'm just like, out of context. I'm like, what does this look like? What is this? Do I look like a psychopath thinking of this idea? Like,
I think so.